Oh man, we are live. Hunt for the prize. Back week 14. Fantasy playoffs has gone underway.
Whew, on the way. Me and you playing this week, so it's
Oh
it's
yeah, that's a
it's
you,
gonna be
you know
interesting. So
yeah. I'm kind of sad that Adam Thielen probably
I
won't play.
I done gifted you Allen Robinson on the bench. So
Hey, I appreciate it, but it still doesn't matter. Your lineup is too good. I don't know how you got all them players on your team.
and I'm the last second play.
Yeah, but not, either way, we back with week 14 Hunt for the prize, man. So we can get right into it.
All right, man. So yeah, what did you see in that Thursday game? So is Jason Garrett gonna be fired at the end of the season, basically?
Yeah, most likely. I mean, they haven't looked good. They look unprepared. They made Mitch Trubisky look like he was the best quarterback in the NFL. Like last night, I tweeted that this is Mitchell Joshua Jackson right here because he was being Lamar and Josh Allen. Like, I mean, that's what he should have been doing all season long when you don't have
Yeah.
nothing run and you can be at least fantasy worthy. You might not be a great quarterback, but you can be fantasy worthy. So Mitch Trubisky played a great game last night. I had Allen Robinson and Anthony Miller in some DraftKings lineups and in fantasy. It paid off. But I did miss the Mitchell performance though, and I'm glad. I guess Dak had the bull crap of the garbage time, and that helped me a lot too. So I can't be mad at that either.
Yeah, you definitely can. The Cowboys' offense, like they didn't look in sync. They definitely looked disjointed. Like even when they were trying to throw the ball, like it looked like their timing was really, really off. Besides that first drive where they looked amazing, and then they also like, of course, they're down, so they're gonna have to try to pass the ball. But I feel like even if they were down like just a little bit, like they still should have ran it with Zeke because Zeke, when he did play, he looked unstoppable last night.
Yeah, this is the second game in a row where yes, Zeke went crazy because he had two touchdowns, but I feel like they kind of took away a monster outing for him. Like both games he should have went crazy against the Buffalo Bills, 12
Right.
carries, 71 yards, and that's come on, like, he should be getting 150 easily. So once again, the Dallas defense not keeping them in the game. Offense kind of struggled early. That takes Zeke out. So it's kind of like if you needed Zeke to go crazy, you missed a chance because he was supposed to get 30 40 last night.
Yeah, exactly. The game flow didn't go his way. The one thing about the Dallas defense is they definitely found a hole when they put I'm sorry, when they put Allen Robinson in the middle of the field. He was lined up on Jalen Smith, and he won that matchup every single time. He was unguardable.
Like,
In
like
that matchup, so it was. If anything, I feel like I don't know if this game was won by the players to the players. All the players pretty much kind of played a decent game. I feel like Matt Nagy just outcoached the hell out of Jason Garrett that game.
yeah, like I said, it looked like they was more unprepared than anything. And as a head coach, even though Garrett doesn't call the plays for either side, I feel like he should have had more handle on how he was going to attack this Bears offense. And that's the Bears offense we wanted to see as far as for fantasy to
Right.
make our players relevant. So that was pretty good. I mean, Montgomery still struggled. Cohen had his catches, but if you had Allen Robinson, Anthony Miller, or Mitch Trubisky in this matchup 3 weeks in a row, you was satisfied.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like they've gotten to where they're trying to do the screenplays and they're trying to do the
Yeah.
quick slant passes. They're not trying to make plays with Mitch Trubisky like they were doing earlier in the season, and it was causing him to make mistakes. He's looking a lot more comfortable, and this is what they hired Matt Nagy for, to try to get Mitch Trubisky to the highest level he can be at.
Right, which ain't that high, but still, it was good enough.
I agree. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much for the Thursday game. Let's move on into the injury report. So Danny Dimes is doubtful with an ankle injury. So Eli Manning is back, and then so we got Matt Stafford as well, and then we also Stafford is out, and then Hollywood Brown is questionable, but he should be good to go. David Njoku, he hasn't been activated off of IR yet, but he should be able to play. That's what he said. And then Will Fuller is questionable with a hamstring injury again, but he's been playing a full workload every week. Adam Thielen is doubtful, so I don't think he's going to play again. Le'Veon Bell and Ryan Griffin both have an illness, so that's like 50-50, but it's only Friday, so if they should be better by Sunday. T.Y. Hilton is out once again. DJ Chark is questionable with a back injury. Chris Conley from the same team is questionable with an ankle injury. So D.D. Westbrook was also questionable, but he is active now. He was dealing with a personal matter. Um, James Conner and Juju are both out again, and Julian Edelman is questionable with that shoulder injury, but he's been playing all season. Damian Williams is out. Daryl Williams is on IR, so the only two running backs in Kansas City are McCoy and Darwin Thompson. Sanu is questionable, but he's been limited all week, so we don't know if he's going to get a full workload. Adam Humphries and Hunter Winfrey are playing in the same game. Both those wide receivers are out. Josh Jacobs is questionable with that shoulder injury, but he's been playing through that all year. Gerald Everett is out. Uh, Howard, Jordan Howard has been questionable all week. He's been practice limited, and then Nelson Aguilar has not practiced. He's been questionable. Evan Ingram is questionable as well, and he's been limited. He's expected to play, and that'll be a great addition back for the Giants.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We'll get to that game later. Let's go into the first game.
All right. So honestly, I don't know if this is going to be the fantasy game of the week, but for playoff implications, this is honestly the game of the week. The Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills over under 43.5, minus 5.5 to Baltimore. Um, this I feel like this is going to be one of Baltimore's toughest games. They're definitely going to lean more heavy on the run. So I have Lamar Jackson as a lock, of course. He's a running back quarterback like in one. You have to start him every week, and I like Mark Ingram a lot this week.
Yeah, I thought before we started the shows, I was debating between Dak and Josh Allen, and mostly in every single league that I have Josh Allen in, I was able to fade away with other matchups. But when you look at the Ravens defense since the acquire Marcus Peters, uh, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Deshaun Watson, Jared Goff, they all had bad games. Jimmy G, it was not a good fantasy game. So if you expecting Josh Allen to go crazy, probably not. The best thing about Josh Allen, though, from those quarterbacks is he actually runs more. Because Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson, okay, you might think they're improvisers and they run a lot, but they run when they have to. Josh Allen will run because he wants to, and that's the difference. So he will have a safe floor. I think he can get you 14, 15 just because of the running threat alone. He can always sneak a touchdown in there. But yeah, this game might not be a great fantasy relevant game because I feel like both teams should have an advantage of having mobile quarterbacks on their team, so they feel like they should have some kind of way to kind of stop it a little bit. But we haven't seen nobody stop Lamar Jackson all season, so he's probably gonna go crazy. But that is what it is. But I do like Singletary in this game too. I play him in the league. I know the Ravens matchup is scary, but the Bills want to run the ball. That's what they're going to do. So until somebody stop the Bills from running, I'm going to roll them out there.
Yeah, and yeah, I definitely have Singletary as a floor play as well. I put Josh Allen as a floor play, but I'm iffy about it, especially in the fantasy playoffs. He might have a floor, but does he win you? Does he win you this week? And that's what you really need is someone to win you this week.
Right.
And I don't know if Josh Allen can get that done. Looking at the pass catchers in this game, do you see anyone you want? Maybe besides like Mark Andrews or anything like that?
Maybe Cole Beasley because he's in the slot, and
Yeah,
that's just close
that's a
to the
maybe.
that's a maybe. But I'll prefer just to have the running backs and the quarterbacks in this game if I had to go someone. I don't think Hollywood Brown goes off. I mean, he can always beat somebody deep, but this is Tre'Davious White we're talking about, so I don't know.
Exactly.
And
I'm,
Baltimore got three great corner over there. So John Brown, that's I'll fade him as well if you got him.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I actually like that Cole Beasley play. I feel like especially what he did against the last team they played, like he is that seems the safest play if you have to on this Buffalo offense
Yeah,
besides Allen and Singletary.
hopefully you don't have to. that's the thing.
Yeah, especially not. Yeah. So we got the Washington Redskins at the Green Bay Packers minus 12.5 to Green Bay over under 41.5. I mean, honestly, I pretty much want the whole Green Bay offense from this game, like everyone I can rely on, not like Valdez Scantling or anything like that. I want Adams, Rogers, and I want the Green Bay running backs like as a whole. which I don't know which Green Bay running back is better, honestly.
I think Jamal Williams is probably more safe than Aaron Jones, to be honest. I
That,
think Aaron Jones. I think Aaron Jones has the ceiling. But if you at this time in the playoffs, you want the certainty. You want somebody I know I'm gonna get for him. Now if you're playing somebody who has great matchup at the running back position and you need to catch up, then I will go Aaron Jones in that situation. I guess if you for DraftKings lineup, Jamal should be cheaper than Aaron. I haven't looked at the prices, but if you had to go Caribbean running back in this matchup, Jamal wouldn't be so bad. I love, like you said, I love Aaron Rodgers. I love Devontae Adams in this matchup. I prefer wasn't it Lazard. I think he's better than
yeah,
MVS
Lazard.
or Allison.
Yeah.
He's better if he had to go someone. He's the second option in my opinion as far as receivers. And the Washington side, I'm sorry, I'm not on Terry McLaurin. Like Having Haskins, he has not been good since. It is a receiver that I have been playing in DraftKings, and I'll be getting 10 points from him for a cheap price, and that's Kelvin Harmon from NC State. He's the last 3 games, like he's been getting you 3-4 catches and about 50 yards. Now, obviously you can't do that in a fantasy league, but if you're in a deep league, 16 or DraftKings, you want somebody really, really cheap, that's not bad options to stack your lineup with other star players around it, because he got me 10 points last week, and I said fine. He was only like $3,000, so that was pretty good. He basically tripled my money. So, but the running backs, who do you like more, Geis or Adrian Peterson?
Oh, it's definitely Geese. I feel like, especially after this year, like I feel like they need to get Geese more involved. Geese is the more explosive player. Geese is younger. Geese is, yeah. I feel like it all has to go around Geese. The only question is can he stay healthy?
Right, but I mean, you got Adrian Peterson. He had a great fantasy game last week, and so the guys he had to say they both went crazy. And this matchup, the Packers defense is not good. So I feel like until Washington gets blown out, well, I feel like I feel like Adrian Peterson will be fine. He's going to get his carries because that's what the Redskins want to do, is run the ball, not try to pass the ball with Haskins if possible. So Adrian Peterson still carried in the last 4 weeks, still has the percentage snaps over as far as carries over guys right now. So I guess if you had to play one, you're hoping for the explosiveness of guys to take over. But if you want the one who got the most carries to give you the most opportunities, it might be Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, but what is Adrian Peterson going to do with those carries? Like
He had 99 yards last week and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And him versus Green Bay. He loved playing Green Bay, so as well.
Yeah,
So
I see where you're coming from. I have the Washington running back unit as a floor play just because all the volume is going to either one of those running backs.
right.
Just because, yeah, Haskins was getting like compared to Tom Brady. Like that's how he plays, but he is not good right now. It's
Nah.
bad they didn't get Daniel Jones.
Oh, definitely. That's what they prefer. I mean, he turned the ball over too, but at least he gives you more of a upside,
More of a ceiling to actually come back in the game. And yeah, we got the Denver Broncos at the Houston Texans -9 to the Texans after beating my team last week. It happens. Over under 42.5. I feel like 9 is too much for this game. I feel like Denver is going to be able to try to at least keep this game close.
right.
Just because I don't think Denver probably saw something last week to where if they stop Fuller and they stop D-Hop, like make these other people try to beat you. I feel like that would be the way to beat this Houston team. And if that does the case, do you like Duke Johnson at all?
As of right now, especially in our dynasty league, I got him in the lineup for now. I think he showed a good game last week. I think that was probably the better way to attack the Patriots was speed, not power. So I think that probably was more a matchup because Broncos is not a slow team. So I don't know if for the Broncos you probably need more power. Is what I'm just thinking. I mean, just think as far as guys that played this year. But I like the Broncos offense. Like if they were playing a regular defense, I like them. Whatever, like lower. But this Texans defense, whether it's garbage points or during the game, like how the game flow goes, I don't trust Houston. I think Cortland Sutton has another big game. I think Drew Lock got his feet wet, and I mean he looked okay. Like he looked pretty good. Like he looked. I don't know. I want to say the future of the Broncos, but I mean, like I said, it's only one game, so we'll see if he can do something against Houston on the road. But I like the running backs in this game. When you watch Philip Lindsay, it seems like he dominates you. Like every time I'm watching, I'm like, man, I hate how I'm playing Lindsay. And then you look at it, angry runner. He like he move his feet 100 yards an hour. But you look at it fantasy, and he doesn't have the points to back what he looks like he's doing.
Right.
Oh, and I don't know whether that's just because he's small and like he's going nowhere or something. But every time he runs, like he dominates like the ground. And this is a matchup that you want. This is a team that cannot stop the running backs, and Lindsay has been taking over the share from Freeman. So I'm all in on Lindsay this week. I'm all in on Cortland Sutton. We've been saying all this the whole time. Have we seen is the Broncos a team that can support 2 or 3 type of good fantasy out performances? And so far, it really only been Sutton. Lindsay will always get you a good floor, but can he have a great game as well? And that's what we're going to find out. I think on the Houston side, Watson's a lot. D-Hop is a lot. I mean, I know you said that you want to try to go away from Will Fuller and stop D-Hop. Kenny Stills might be just as scary as Will Fuller right now. Like he looked good against the Patriots, and maybe that just because your third receiver is better than y'all third corner. I don't know. Maybe that's just the case, but he looked good. So we'll see what Broncos can do with all 3 weapons on the field.
Yeah, the Patriots were focused on stopping both D-Hop and Fuller. We wanted to stop both of them, just because if you stop one, the other one's going to go off.
Right.
That's why I feel like I have Watson and D-Hop as locks. I have Fuller with a question mark alongside lock, just because he's been getting that full workload. And if he didn't get the targets last week because he was playing the best secondary, like arguably the best secondary in football, and so the ball wasn't thrown his way last week. If it gets thrown his way, with Chris Harris on D-Hop, he can definitely Fuller can definitely make some plays. And then Cortland Sutton is a lock. Houston can't contain running backs, but they're even worse against the pass. And Cortland Sutton has been finding a way every week, whether he has to pass a touchdown or just catching one while diving with one hand. Like the only thing that really worries me about Drew Lock right now is that he likes to really, really take chances, and that can go really, really bad in this game if you're playing a well-coached team.
Yeah, now it could. For fantasy, you love a guy who can take shots, especially to somebody like Sutton. So it's like if you got Sutton or you want to go Sutton, you got a quarterback who will take chances, because you don't want somebody who, scared to make the plays. Like, I mean, say what we want to say about the Kyle Allens and James Winston, but they're going to take chances, and sometimes, hey, you like it, especially when it goes your way. So, I think this game gonna be fun. I mean, Houston gonna win the game, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be there. You can find a lot of fantasy value in this
game.
I don't know about studs besides Sutton, but definitely value. All right, so the next game we got the San Francisco 49ers at the New Orleans Saints, -2.5 to New Orleans, over under 44. This San Fran's winning this game, period.
I picked them to win the game. I think San Francisco the best team in football on both sides of the ball. And when healthy, now that Breeder's back, Mostert's back, and Coleman, you got Kittle, you got Sanders, you got Debo, and the emergence of Kendrick Bourne. I am out on all of those guys I just named, except Kittle because he's tight end. Because it's just too many of them. You know what I mean? It's good for Jimmy G, and that's why I have him as I will say a lock in this game. Yeah, he has every weapon that he needs. There's no one's out this time. He has everyone. Staley's coming back, the left tackle. He has his fullback back. Everybody's back, and this is why I drafted Jimmy G in the Dynasty League, because you got something like that, and he has all these weapons to play with, all these toys to play with, going into the Saints, where you may have Marshawn Lattimore, but what about the other guys? Who are they going to guard? Exactly. So I feel like he should have no weakness when the run game is going to be as strong as it is, as long as the O-line can protect. I'm loving Jimmy G in this game. Like I said, I probably out on all the weapons outside of Kittle because you don't know. Because you might play Sanders, you might play Debo, it might be a good look. But Kendrick Bourne has been getting targets. Like he's getting like 14% of the target share so far this season, or not since the last 4 weeks. So he has been getting the ball. So like I said, I would fade away from the weapons just because it's so many. And I got Coleman in the league, and he played last week, but obviously he wasn't the guy. And that's crazy. Now that Breeder's back, I don't know what they're gonna do with Coleman. So I'm just avoiding all both of them, just take the lumps as it go.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like even if it was only one running back, I really don't like the running backs in this game. Uh, I mean, anytime Kyle Shanahan can scheme something up and they can
You can.
have like a 20, 30 yard play. But like yeah, I have Jimmy G as a lock. I got Kamara as a lock actually. If you want to attack this team, you have to do it on the run. I did not want to put Michael Thomas as a lock, but you literally have to.
Yeah. One thing that is going to hurt the Saints come down in playoff time is the lacking of another weapon. Like Jared Cook has kind of emerged a little bit,
I
but
agree.
you still need somebody over the top. That's not Michael Thomas's game. I mean, that's not what he does. He all his is intermediate work, and trying to rely on Ted Ginn and Smith, uh, so that's more real talk more than fantasy, but still it goes to show that Drew Brees is like his ceiling is not as high as it once was because he doesn't have that deep shot that he's going to take. It's going to be Michael Thomas. He probably going to get 100 yards. Kamara going to get his catches and his 70 yards probably. And then you're going to have Cook getting his 70. So outside of those three, I don't know what else they're going to do. And then when they come in close, they're going to run the ball. So Drew Brees has he's definitely not a play for me. But Michael Thomas, Kamara, Jared Cook, you can line those boys up. They gonna come to work.
Yeah, I feel like you don't want the cake, you want the icing in this matchup for
Right.
the New Orleans side. I'm scared to play Breeze as well. But on your point earlier, I have Sanders or Samuel as a floor play. Like you said, we don't know which one is going to go off, but
Right.
I feel like if you have a feeling about a guy, like you see a matchup that you feel like you can capitalize on,
Then do it.
then
Yeah.
take it because San Fran is going to try to put up points on this New Orleans team, especially that Vegas has them losing this game. That that baffles me.
Hey, one big point though is also 49ers did not go back home. They stayed in the East. So they're not gonna have that travel mess where they played an early game, 1 o'clock last time, go back, and then come back out again. They stayed put. So the Saints won't have an advantage that way either.
Cool. All right. So yeah, the next game we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns, -7.5 to Cleveland, over under 41.5. I want to play Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and probably Tyler Boyd since Dalton is back. Other than that, I don't know if I want anyone else from this game.
Well, you probably can't go away from the Landry and OBJ just because of the target share. Both of them are above 25. Obviously, there's no really other real options. But because of quarterback, I can understand why you say that. Um, Dalton playing in this game makes the Browns better because it won't be no blowout. I don't think they'll blow Cincinnati out. I mean, yeah, blow Cincinnati out. Dalton keeps the game close, which means you got Chubb, you got Hunt, you got your receivers all in play. I think throughout the whole game, like last night. If you had Allen Robinson and Miller, and like let's say if you had another they had another pass catcher, but the game was out of reach. They're running the game. They're running the ball the whole time. So if you wanted, because Robinson only had 40 some yards, like if he didn't score touchdowns, you would been mad about Robinson's performance last night.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
especially when they start blowing them out, because now they're not going to pass the ball anymore. So uh, I think that's going to go bode well for the Browns that Dalton is playing. So if you have the Browns, you should be fine. Um, I guess I should apologize to Landry because I said that he wasn't going to be good at all this year, and it's been
I
opposite.
mean, they started throwing the ball to him, and he's made it work just because I feel like you said last week, I feel like that's the way this offense needs to be designed is to do those short dink and dunks, and then you can open up for the big plays with OBJ. But their line play just doesn't allow for that right now.
Right. Now that is true because you don't have time to use OBJ like you want to. So yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, you're right. Outside of Boyd on the so you don't like mixing it all in this game either?
I don't like mixing like until they get a line.
So maybe never.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm about to say,
He can't produce if no one's blocking for him, man.
yeah. I mean, Cleveland is right now the second best run defense as far as fantasy goes. So I can understand. I can understand what you're saying. But you're right. You're right. Unless he gets a goal line touchdown, you probably don't expect a big game. Yeah.
Or the like, 1 yard pass from Andy Dalton. I
Right.
have Dalton as a floor play because they're going to be behind this game. That's the only other one I would consider, but it can go either way, so it's not really worth it.
All right.
All right, so this might be a good fantasy game. We got the Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons, -3 to Atlanta, over under 47.5. Atlanta has to do one thing in this game, and that is they have to establish the run with Devontae Freeman. They have to if they want to win this game.
I love the matchup, but I don't think I love the player. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love the matchup that the Falcons possess playing the Panthers, because the Panthers can't stop running backs at all. But can you trust Freeman? Is if Atlanta gives him the work, like you're saying, can you trust Freeman?
I mean, I'm trusting Freeman. I trust Freeman. I don't trust Atlanta's offensive line. It's the same thing with the Bengals. Like, I don't trust this line enough to produce for Freeman.
That's fair. That's fair.
But Freeman can make if Freeman can like find his old legs, he can he can have like 2 or 3 big plays, and that'll be enough to get you a floor. I don't have him as a lock. He's definitely a floor play though.
Okay. Yeah, Julio is expected to play. You said Hooper will be back as well.
Yeah.
So everybody who loves Ridley and Russell Gage, hey,
You might have to take.
I would say hopefully you made it work. It made it work for me. Gage got me 30 points in 2 weeks. I can't be mad. Really went crazy the last 3 weeks. So if you had done those two guys, look for a lesser, less output. Maybe I would say maybe right.
Play his full workload.
Right. Well, I mean, to be honest, when you're a team like the Falcons and you're losing like this, I definitely wouldn't rush myself back unless I'm full 100% in my opinion. Right. So I'm gonna hope that Hazel Hooper gets back to his ways, and Matt Ryan's not gonna shy from it. Same thing with Julio Jones. I kind of made a boo-boo. I let go Cousins in the league when they had Matt Ryan, or because Matt Ryan's on. I had Matt Ryan. Somebody dropped Matt Ryan. I picked him up before during the fiasco, or if they're gonna fire the coach or not. With Josh Allen and Cousins, I knew Josh Allen's schedule was gonna get rough, and Cousins had a bye coming up, so I went ahead and dropped Cousins before the bye. Tried to pick up some other pieces that I need because of other injuries, and now I'm looking back on it. Ryan hasn't done anything to warrant me ever playing him, and maybe is that more Ryan? Is it the offensive line, or is it because Hooper and Julio wasn't there? So it kind of a mixture of all three things. Now that he has the weapons back, how do you think Matt Ryan goes out in this game?
Well, I feel like it's going to definitely give Matt Ryan a boost. It all falls back to the same thing for this Atlanta team for me. How are you as a quarterback supposed to get into a rhythm when you're getting sacked 5 times a game?
Right, especially when you're not Lamar Jackson, and you can run from it. So yeah.
And look at what they did to the Saints when that 1 week they didn't give up a sack at all. They destroyed the Saints. So it all falls down to the offensive line for me. If the offensive line, that's why they need to establish the run. They establish the run. They leave some pressure off of Matt Ryan, and they can get Matt Ryan into a groove, and they can win this game. Other than if they can get to the quarterback, if they can stop Freeman, it's going to be a lost cause, and Christian McCaffrey might have like 40 points.
Yeah, I picked. Man, he better, because he kind of cost me a league. He had 18 points. That's not enough, McCaffrey. It's not enough for you.
It's a regular game. Come on.
It's not enough for you, McCaffrey. You supposed to score 40 a night. You are James Harden of the NFL, and you disappointed me. You shot 3 for 25 from 3-point line last week, and I lost my league fantasy first round playoffs. All right, sorry, had to let that go.
Oh, I'm sorry. You had to vent. You had to vent. All right.
So without Ron Rivera there now, they got Scott Turner North. Turner's son is called into place. The defensive coordinator on the Panthers defense is now the head coach. So he's calling the plays to defense. So we don't know what this Carolina offense or defense is going to do. We don't know if I don't know if it's going to be a good game for Atlanta or will it be a bad game for the Carolina offense. I don't know what to expect. So I'm kind of mad. I think at DraftKings I won't go because there's no Greg Olsen concussion protocol. I don't think he's been cleared yet. He's out. So I don't know. I mean, of course, you got to trust DJ Moore. You got to trust that Scott Turner is going to keep it rolling. What Norwood's doing. Outside of McCaffrey and DJ Moore, I don't have any faith in nobody else though.
Yeah, I completely agree. I actually have Moore and Christian McCaffrey as locks. Julio's a lock. Just I don't want to really put him there. He hasn't really done anything since like week 4. But
he hasn't scored this year.
yeah. I don't know what's up with him in touchdowns. I thought he broke that seal last year. But
right, I did too.
But no.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We got the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings -13 to Minnesota.
Ooh.
Over under 43. Locks for me this game are the Detroit wide receivers, mainly Jones and Galladay, and then Dalvin Cook. It legitimately might have 40 points this week.
Yeah, he's playing on a bad shoulder, but he's going to give it a go. He better be 100%. He better, because every time he get hurt, he always fumble the ball. When he gets hurt, he gotta learn how when he get hurt, he gotta hold on to the ball. Anyway, that's a little bit from last week. Anyway, yeah, he should be good. Diggs should be good to go. They're playing man. I haven't seen the corner be able to guard Diggs his whole career, unless he's being doubled. So I don't care that Darius Slay's on him. Doesn't matter to me. I like you still gotta like Kyle Rudolph, especially in the red zone. I feel like this is going to be a great game for, like you said, the Lions receivers and pretty much the Vikings offense. You can trust Cousins, Cook, Rudolph. Thielen is doubtful. He probably won't play. If I was him, I would at least suit up, and go out there and just see, whether if any kind of problems come out. So if you got Thielen, don't play him. I don't think that's a smart thing to do. Because he might give you a 0 just like he did when he played, not the Redskins, I want to say the Chiefs. He played one series and that was it. So I love Cousins. Now, if this game is a blowout, like Vegas says, are you fading Bo Scarborough early? Do you think the Lions can stay in the game to where he is a factor? Because he's a type of running back. He may not be explosive like your Geises and your Camaras and all that and McCaffrey, but he's getting the volume like Adrian Peterson, where he's getting the 15 to 20 carries. So he's getting you touches. Can he be effective though?
Especially against the Vikings defense, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think the Seattle was an outlier game. Minnesota doesn't give up 200 yards rushing to anybody. I think it's like the fourth time since Zimmer been coaching. He's been coaching since 2014. So I think that was an outlier game. Hopefully it better be an outlier game. But yeah, so fade. I mean, I don't know if you can fade Bo probably at this time, just because of the, you probably didn't been rolling with him because of the injuries and stuff. So I don't know if you can fade him, but don't, unless he score a touchdown, you might be disappointed.
Yeah, I completely understand. I really like the passing game for the Lions this week over any kind of running game they have. The only real thing I'm worried about with your team, with Diggs and Cousins and Rudolph and all of them, is this can turn into one of those games from when y'all had it earlier in the season where y'all run the ball 40 times this game and y'all only pass about 20 times, and the volume isn't there to reach where you guys need to be at for fantasy purposes.
Well, I think outside of that Atlanta game, even with Cook going off crazy, Cousins always seem to still find a way because they're going to use Cook. They're going to use Cook in the screen game a lot, and I feel like whether that will make up, that will get you 50 to 60 yards right there just on passing the ball to Cook or doing a little short passes that's kind of an extension of the run. So I think Cousins will be fine. Now if he don't throw touchdown passes, yeah, I see what you mean, but I don't know. I'm scared of this game because you have to, it's like you have to win. Losing to Seattle made you have to win, which you should. You're better than this team, but now you're playing a third string quarterback. Is your mindset to go out and kill, or is it go through the motions? Because if you do that, then you're gonna see Kurt have a great game because we're gonna be down again, just like how he was against the Broncos when you coming out against Brandon Allen. So hopefully they don't do that again. But if that happens, then Cousins probably gonna have like 5 touchdown passes.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys get down in this game, Cousins can definitely go off. But it's hard for me to see it go that way.
to
But
predict that, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Especially with a week and a half to prepare for the Lions. Like I feel like unless you guys make some real bad mistakes, I don't see how it goes that way.
Well, hey, put Xavier Rhodes on Galladay and Jones, and we will.
Yeah, that's why the wide receivers are locks. And all right, so we got the Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets, -5.5 to the Jets, over under 45.5. So I have a lock, Devontae Parker. That's about it. I actually kind of like Robbie Anderson in this game.
Wait, you said who? Adam Robinson? Oh, you mean Parker?
Robbie Anderson.
Oh, Robbie Anderson, my bad. Yeah, I like Robbie Anderson over Crowder. It's crazy because you think these matchups, like, I should be able to throw out Crowder, Robbie Anderson, Ryan Griffin, Bell, and Darnold and be okay with the result. Whether that's ceiling play of 30 or you give me a floor of 10, I think I should be okay with that. And the Jets offense with the good matchups that they have, up and down, and I can't stand it. Which I'm going to fade the Jets offense, and it's probably gonna be bad because they're probably gonna go off crazy again. But the last time they played Miami, they struggled. So maybe being at home, they won't.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. But I feel like if the offensive line is still the bad. Like, it doesn't matter where you go. And that can lead to Bale kind of struggles a little bit this season, and Darnold have struggles, and it's like Crowder will get you 8 catches, but he might go 17 yards or he may go 400, and that's the bad thing about this offense. So I'm scared of it, and necessarily I don't even think it's the players. I think it's Adam Gase, but I'm a big fan of this Miami offense. I think Fitzpatrick he's not afraid to do anything. He's going to chuck it up there to Gesicki and Devontae Parker all game long, and that's all I care about. Throw those two guys, and you throw for 4 touchdowns. I care less what the Jets do.
Yeah, that's pretty much who all is left. I definitely like Gesicki this game. I have Gesicki and Fitz as a full play. Parker is a lock. I feel like it's definitely going to be more of a passing game for the Jets. Like they lost to the Bengals last week. They need to come out here and make a statement. They need to do something, and I feel like they have to move the ball with Darnold. They need to stop babying him, and that's why I like Robbie Anderson, who's been getting more play these last couple of weeks. I feel like he needs to come in and like make big plays like he was at the end of last year as well.
Yeah, I think Robbie Anderson, this is a contract year for him. So I don't know if the Jets are going to bring him back or not. I feel like they're losing a good receiver, but they haven't used him like I thought. I drafted Robbie Anderson in a couple leagues, and because I thought this was the year. I thought this was the year that Darnold could break out. But hey, sometimes it don't be what you think. So I think the game's going to be fine. I mean, I'm not going to watch it, but the game's going to be fine.
Definitely not going to watch it. Sam I don't know. He's weird. He did some weeks he's good, some weeks he's bad. But yeah, let's move on. So we got the Indianapolis Colts at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, -3 to Tampa Bay, over under 46.5.
Let's go Bucks.
I'm cheering for the Colts. I don't know if I'm not a big Jameis fan. I like him for fantasy. He's definitely has this floor play. I feel like this is going to be one of the weeks where Jameis turns the ball over.
He better not. No, I started him because last week he was done for me because Jameis didn't turn the ball over. Like, that's crazy. When he played a good game, it cost me. That's I'm mad. Like you play him because he may give you some mistakes, but because the team is so bad, he got to throw the ball and get you the volume. In that last game, where they had three rushing touchdowns last week, I believe. So he only got you like 12 points, but maybe I'm hoping for a bounce back game. And I think because the Colts are, I want to say pretty solid against the run, but they're not a bad run team. They just happened to face Derrick Henry last week, which he's matchup proof. So Can the Colts key in on the run to make Winston throw? That's what I hope they do. I hope they force him to throw, and that's what I'm banking on.
Exactly, and yeah, that's why I think Winston will be a floor play because they're like you said they're going to get. I don't know if they're going to get down in this game. They may. Um, it honestly all depends on how well Jacoby Brissett is able to play. Um, but yeah, I'm starting Winston and Colts defense against you in our redraft league, and it's going to work out.
Probably if you throw a pick six and then throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, I'm gonna throw my phone.
I mean, my name. I had Eagles defense in. I was like, nah, I'm gonna put Colts defense back in. I mean,
That's
Jameis is
smart.
gonna have like 1 or 2 turnovers, and
That's smart.
that'll make my plays for defense.
No, it's smart because also the Colts are pretty good against fantasy running backs. They're pretty good. They like I said, they just ran to Derrick Henry, so you gotta expect that he's gonna take chances on Mike Evans and Godwin. And to be honest, I need Winston to go crazy because I have Evans in the playoffs and I have Godwin in the playoffs. And all year we were talking about can they both go up at the same time? Please, like if Winston can get me, that's what I need. I need Winston to go. Well, he can't see, and this is a bad thing about having different leagues because he can't go too crazy against in our matchup.
You're gonna lose.
Right, I'm gonna lose. But he needs to go. He need to go off enough for them to both go. Yeah, right. Man, fantasy just drives you crazy sometimes.
Yeah, especially when you play with multiple leagues like that. You're cheering for one guy, you're not cheering for another guy. You're playing like
mismatch.
Yeah, exactly. And then so going back to like the running back, so Tampa Bay's been a really, really good running team all year, but I actually have Marlon Mack as a floor play. It's not really for volume purposes. It's just I like the skill of the player. I like the skill Marlon Mack brings, the patience he brings, and also the Colts offensive line has been playing amazing. The only way you're going to stop a good run defense is with a good offensive line. And I don't think he's going to have an explosive game, but if he gets into the end zone, he gets the volume. I like Marlon Mack this week to at least give you some solid points.
Now I'm definitely going to watch that game because I want to see because the Dominican Sue and Vita Vea are playing at Pro Bowl levels on the D line, especially with JPP, like and Shaquille Barrett. Like that D line is something serious too with Tampa Bay. So something got to give. Is it going to be Buccaneers D line or Colts offensive line? So I see where you're coming from. I think Ty is out. Yep. I think Paris Campbell may or may not play.
Paris Campbell is back.
So I know they'd be forcing the Paris Campbell. So in the DraftKings, or would you look Campbell's way, or you just not going on nobody but Doyle? Because I feel like Doyle just got paid today. So you know what we do? We follow the money.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, Jack Doyle is my boy. I like Jack Doyle a lot, and Tampa Bay really can't guard tight ends. If you're going any wide receiver, you got to go Paris Campbell. Unless if you want to say floor, you're going Paris Campbell. If you need that ceiling play, then you can take a chance on Zach Pascal because he can definitely do something this game. It honestly all depends on Jacoby Brissett whether Indiana has a good game or they have a bad game. Because ever since he's returned from his injury, he hasn't been playing at the good the consistent level that he was at before.
Yeah, he's I hate to say it, but like you can tell why he was. I think he's a great backup. I don't really think he's a good starter. Like he can come in and play you 7 to 8 games, but I don't think a full season. Like I feel like the coach realized that, and he had to take a big cap hit to the team. So I feel like the coach still going to draft the quarterback. So at some point, so Jacoby is fine. I just think that I've been saying this the whole time. They need more players. He can't be the best player on the team.
Right.
For Mitch or even I say for Kirk Cousins. We know Thielen, Diggs, and Cook are better players than Kirk Cousins, but it makes Kirk Cousins so great having those 3 guys. And I think if T.Y. can stay healthy with Ebron, Doyle, if he had another receiver and Matt can stay healthy with the O-line, he should be fine.
Well, you also got to think half of their receivers got injured throughout the whole season.
Right.
And where's someone else? I mean, Paris Campbell was hurt most of the season. Devin Funchess is still on IR.
Deion Kane.
Yeah.
Deion Kane, he on somebody else's team now because he got cut. He could get hurt.
He went to the Steelers and Deion Kane just never came back.
but yeah.
But yeah, Funchess, Campbell, and then Pascal's emerging. If they had more weapons, if T.Y. like you said, if T.Y. Hilton can't stay healthy, I would like Brissett a lot more. I completely agree. One thing I do want to say though is if Andrew Luck was still playing, A, this team would be in the playoffs.
All right,
B, Jacoby Brissett would still be the best backup in the league. Hands.
definitely, definitely. And like I said, maybe like I said, maybe it's not a fair assessment because all his weapons got hurt. But I do know he cannot be the best player on the team. So he needs a. I mean, Devontae Parker is a free agent. Robbie Anderson's gonna be a free agent. This is probably like a side trade, but Antonio Brown's a free agent. Like it just a lot of things you can do to make Jacoby work, especially for how cheap he is. Like you gotta make that work.
Yeah,
Save your
exactly.
yeah.
Or just go another quarterback. Like go
Right.
draft somebody. But other than
Right, yeah.
I don't think the Colts are going to do that. Not this year.
Yeah, but I feel like they might do like a Minshew type of thing where you or a Dak where you get somebody in the 4th or 5th round, and if he pans out, he pans out. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. Speaking of our boy Gardner Minshew, we
Hey,
got the
the
Los Angeles
segue.
and the Jacksonville Jaguars -3 to the Chargers. Over under 43. Gardner Minshew is back, the American hero. Um, I know DJ Chark has a back injury. Does this Foles was playing horrible? Does this elevate anybody besides Chark?
I think it keeps him in the game. So maybe Fournette. Fournette. First of all, he is on a crazy tear as far as targets. I don't know if you've been paying attention to it, but like if he was scoring touchdowns, he'd be just as good as McCaffrey. Like he gets all the volume, he gets all the passes. He just ain't scoring touchdowns, which you need to be fantasy relevant. So I think it elevates him. He had great numbers when Minshew was in there, having that threat of a good quarterback to space the the field out. Helps Fournette for that fact. So I don't know. Chark has been down the last 2 games. And I think he has another bad game because of Casey Hayward. So maybe Westbrook is probably the play. Maybe a Chris Conley. So it's not that many options for Jacksonville. So you probably can't go wrong. You're gonna get all the points. It's not gonna be like you might get a Keelan Cole touchdown, but it's very, very rare. So if not Chark, you got Fournette, you got Westbrook, and you have Conley. So you probably can't go wrong with none of those guys. Because one thing I think in this game, Rivers is going to throw a pick at some point, so he may throw a lot of picks. So maybe Jacksonville has more opportunities, and that's what you want in fantasy is volume opportunities.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I love Jacksonville defense this week. Not even for the ability for turnovers. It's just the Chargers line is so bad. Like they're like 3-5 points from sacks pretty much. So I definitely like their defense this week. But for locks, I didn't include defense in my locks, but I got the Chargers running back unit as a whole is definitely a lock. I feel like they're leaning more towards the run, more than ever, even with Phillips still there, and Fournette is a lock, of course. What I the thing I really don't know about this game is I don't know where to put Rivers. I don't know where to put Keenan Allen. Mike Williams had a big yardage game last week. The only person I really want from this pass game might be Hunter Henry, man.
Yeah, look for a bounce back game from from Hunter Henry. He kind of disappointed last week, but I like him this week. I threw Mike Williams in last week when Thielen was out, and it panned out. So maybe I can do it again. I hope he gets some bombs in the games because that definitely did save me. So yeah, the Charger offense, you know what you get from them. You know what you get from them. So we're gonna throw picks. Eckler's gonna get the passing. Gordon gonna get the run. It is a lot, and to be honest, I think you might be able to separate them in this game and say they both a lot. Like instead of saying Charger running backs, I think you can safely say both will be a lot. I think the Jaguars cannot stop the run. That's Melvin Gordon, and they definitely can't stop running backs out of the backfield. That's Eckler. So I feel like they both should be fine in this matchup as long as Rivers don't throw turnovers too much.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. I mean, if the game gets out of hand, and then it's just going to turn into an Austin Eckler game, and but I don't see it going that way. I definitely feel like they're both going to be available. This is going to be a slow game. Play all the running backs. I honestly, for drafting purposes, I don't think I'm playing anywhere else.
Hello.
I accidentally muted you by accident. I have no idea. All right, so
Oh,
we're
that's
good.
good.
Okay, yeah, let's go to the next game. All right, so
Yeah.
the Kansas City Chiefs at the New England Patriots -3. To the Patriots over under 49. I know like my team has one of the best secondaries in football. I'm a preach that. Mahomes goes off in this game. Mahomes has 4 touchdowns in this game.
What New England has to do is play zone. They play zone, they got a chance because Kansas City is just too fast for everybody. Because, like you said last week, you try to stop D Hop and Will Fuller, Kansas still has speed. Boom. So you stop Tyreek Hill, you stop Kelsey, boom, Miko Harbin, boom, Demarcus Robinson. So they have the speed. So you're right. You need to play zone because Mahomes is likely to go crazy in this game. And that's my thing. I picked Kansas City to win this game only because if Mahomes can beat the defense, can the Patriots beat can Patriots score enough? Even though Kansas City defense is not good, your offense ain't played that great. But I do know Edelman is going to be a factor in this game. Big factor. He's had like double targets in the last 3 games. And somebody else I trust James White a lot too. I don't trust Michelle or anybody or Sanu on this game, but Edelman and White are locks for me. I had in a 10 league I'm in, I dropped Michelle for James White, put him in the same spot. Took Michelle out, dropped him, put James White right there because I trust that Michelle really hasn't looked impressive without a fullback. So
Right, I completely agree. I have Edelman and White as locks. They're both going to go off this game. I threw Brady in as the floor play. I know Michelle hasn't looked great, but I feel like if we want to win this game, we're gonna have to start off hot. We're gonna have one of those drives where we just like we already know what 10 or 12 plays we're gonna make on this drive, and we're gonna try to waste time, and we're just gonna like throw dinks and dunks and passes, and Kansas City probably isn't gonna be able to do anything to stop it, and then we're
right.
gonna like probably towards like the second half, the middle of the first half, we're gonna start trying to run Michelle to try to run the clock so we don't get like the way we win this game is we play zone and we take the ball out of Mahomes' hands. That's the only way we win. But I still feel like I'm a Patriots fan. I'm afraid of this game. I feel like Mahomes is going to have 4 touchdowns. He's going to go crazy, and there's not going to be anything we can do to stop
If it's 4 touchdowns, that's not good at all. Because I don't know if y'all can score 28 if that's the case. But I think it's going to be a great game regardless. Like I think New England defense they're going to have to come like they're going to have to show that they are this historic defense that everybody's saying they are.
it. Yep,
So
they're going to have to. This is the game to prove it. Besides the game in Baltimore. All right, so the next game. All right, so we're gonna spend like 30 seconds on this one, right?
yep, go.
All right, so Pittsburgh Steelers at the Arizona Cardinals over under 43.5, -2.5 to Pittsburgh. I have locks, no one. Ceiling, no one. Floor, Murray. That's it.
Let's go.
All right,
Next
bet.
game.
All right, cool. All right, so Tennessee Titans at the Oakland Raiders over under 47.5, -2.5 to Tennessee. Um, I really feel like I have Tannehill and the Tennessee wide receivers as locks in this game. I like AJ Brown a lot. I don't know about Corey Davis. I like AJ Brown a lot.
Oakland plays better at home. So and also against quarterbacks this year, Tennessee either give up 2 touchdowns or 300 yards. So can Derek Carr do either one?
Yeah, I really feel like it just because he's going to lean heavy on Darren Waller this game.
He better. He
Ten-
better.
Tennessee can't stop tight ends. We saw that last week with Jack Doyle. Even Doyle was the only one there. Waller's basically the only one there on the Oakland side. Another person I really like a lot in this game. I like both running backs. I like Josh Jacobs as a lock and Hunter Henry, Derrick Henry as a lock. I like this game a lot. This might be the like fantasy game of the week, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely tuning in this one. I think if Carr can, he's very cheap on DraftKings. I think he's priced lower than Marcus Mariota. That's crazy. But anyway, if Oakland if he can do what I said about 2 touchdowns or 300 yards, if he lean on Waller since Hunter Renfro went out, Waller spiked back up to where he belonged. Maybe Tyrell Williams get back busy. Maybe Isaiah Jones or somebody else emerges. But yeah, so you got to lean on Jacobs. You got to lean on Carr and Waller. That's their big three for this game. And Tennessee, uh, we know is run by Derrick Henry. That he's the man. He's the show. In my opinion, he's a top 5 MVP candidate. I don't care regardless of position. But you're gonna see he put the team on his back, and when he doesn't, Tannehill is gonna find somebody. I was totally wrong with Corey Davis. I thought he was gonna be good. He got a better quarterback, and he's still sorry. So I don't know who he throws the ball to. He could be either. Tannehill doesn't care whether it's Adam Humphries, whether it's AJ Brown, Jonathan Smith. It doesn't matter. He's gonna throw to somebody. But they want the ball to go to Derrick Henry 20, 25 times. So I'm picking Tennessee to win this game, going to Oakland and win. So I kind of want it to be not really a blowout, but where to force Jacobs to still run the ball, but also make him hurry up and throw the ball as well. Because we know we've seen it once the team get up on Oakland, Jacobs is done.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's why I honestly low key like Oakland in this game. Like you said, they are at home. I feel like they try to control the clock more with Jacobs, with Waller. If they're able to move the ball, I don't see how they can really lose this game unless like what happened last week where the Titans literally just had big play after big play after big play for touchdowns, and there was nothing the Colts could do last week. The Titans need one of those games to win this game.
Well, Titans are the most explosive pass offense and pass defense, I think, in this. I mean, pass rush, like rushing explosiveness and passing explosiveness the last few weeks since Tannehill has been quarterback. Also, they are the number one red zone offense, and they're playing the 31st red zone defense. So Titans get in there and they're putting up points. So which means the Raiders are going to put up points too. So that's why this game is probably like you said, the fantasy game of the week, because all the stars should go off in this game.
I agree. All right, so we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Los Angeles Rams over under 46.5. This is a pick 'em.
And went down to the pick 'em, yeah, because everybody taking the Rams because of the two. It was 2.5 to Seattle, and the money then switched over because people were taking the Rams too much.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Rams this game. I feel like they've been trying to establish the run more. I love Todd Gurley in this game. I like Russell Wilson, but I don't know who he's going to pass to. I really don't like any of the receivers in this game.
I think the Rams has been predicated to not playing a lot of strong passing offenses. And with Seattle having a better offensive line than usually, DK Metcalf is not a baby like he once was when they played like week 5, week 6. Tyler Lockett, yes, he's kind of down bad a little bit, but with an injury. But you got to hope that if Russell's an MVP candidate, it shouldn't really matter. It's going to be he's going to find the guy that he needs to happen. And if Seattle can do what they did last week in Minnesota, where that's ground you out with Carson and Penny, with both of them, that could be scary in this game. Because the Rams running defense has been good, but we've seen what happened when they play the Ravens, and Seattle can do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I completely I do agree with those points. The one thing I want to say about the running back. So one of my friends, he's like down. We have a 2-week playoff. He's like down like 30 points. The other dude is playing Carson. He picked up Penny this week. And I told him, I was like, if you think Chris Carson gets a fumble and you you need to start Rashad Penny, because Rashad Penny will have like 20 and Carson will have 0 if Carson fumbles.
Hey, since the last fumble when they played with before the Minnesota game, they've been splitting. Whoever it was, they've been splitting. So I feel like if Carson has 20 carries, I think Penny can get 14, 15. So I think they're going to be crazy run heavy with 2 good running backs. I think that could be enough. Now Ram side, you seen Woods get 19 targets, whatever. If Woods playing like that, with Kupp being a better receiver, this Rams offense can be bad. You need if Woods can be your second best receiver and he's playing at a top 15 receiver level and cut better than him, that can be scary.
I completely agree. The only thing I'm really worried about is A, their offensive line needs to get better, and B, Goff needs to be a better decision maker. If those two
Right,
things can happen, the Rams will be back on top again.
right. Hope
And then,
not. Let's go Seattle.
and then the NFC West will be scariest division. Like in
Please, please, Seattle. Come on, please.
all right, so final game of the week, Monday Night Football. We got the New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles, -9.5 to Philly,
Mm.
because Eli Manning is a scrub apparently. Over under 46. With Eli Manning back, Golden Tate is there, but I like Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard is a lock this week for me.
Stolen Sheriff, well, you know me. Golden Tate is a yak monster, so I'm always going to go him. Evan Ingram's back. Only one guy I wouldn't like from this Giants offense, and that's Darius Slayton, and that's because Eli that man does not like to throw the ball deep because he does not have it anymore. So that's why you like the Shepherds and Ingrams and Tate because they're close to the line of scrimmage. So if you have Slayton, I'm sorry, this might not be the week. But I'm hoping this can be a Saquon game. One, because I'm playing you. That's all I need to be.
I
but
don't think, man.
hey, but the thing is Eagles, yes, they're gonna try to force, I guess command attention to Saquon, but I think if because Eli doesn't turn the ball over like Daniel Jones do as far as fumbling. So I feel like if he may throw picks or whatever, but if they can if they can keep the ball, just like they can keep the ball in their hands instead of giving the ball to the Eagles, this Giants offense could do something. Like they have the weapons, and it's crazy that all they one quarterback away from them all being running back one, tight end one, and two top 20 receivers. Like they're just one quarterback away. And I don't know, maybe this change against this Eagles secondary, this Eli might be the thing. Like I want to put stock into the Eagles, to the Giants players. I want to, because I just feel like this might be the worst thing that could happen to the Eagles for fantasy.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. I'm not the only way I see Barkley even having like a basically his floor will be in the passing game. If he catches like 5 passes for 50 yards, he can have a great floor. Other than that, I feel like the Eagles are going to focus on stopping the run because the Eagles like Eli can get the Eagles down in this game, and if they stop on focus the run, they have a chance to come back. But I like Alshon and Ertz a lot in this game too on
Oh,
the other
definitely.
side.
Yeah.
Um, and then Wentz, I actually like he hasn't been playing well, but if he can, this is a get right game for the Eagles, and Carson Wentz needs to get right, and so I like Wentz a lot. I have Wentz as a lock this week just because with all his receivers and everything back, he needs to get it going.
Yeah, Jeffrey Ertz and Miles Sanders are plays for me. So, with wins being a lot, definitely.
Yep. All right, duds of the week. My duds are from the last two games, man. Saquon Barkley's a dud. Like I said, they're going to focus in on stopping the run. The only thing that's going to save Saquon for me is the passing game. I'm not really going to talk more about that because I just did. My other dud, Tyler Lockett. I feel like Jalen Ramsey, like if they might play sides of the field, but if they want to stop this passing game in any way and like try to like stop everyone else with the run, they need to try to focus in on Metcalf, and then they need Ramsey to shadow Lockett. The only problem with that is Lockett goes into the slot. I don't know if he'll follow him there, but Lockett ever since he came back from injury hasn't been playing well, and I can't trust Tyler Lockett. He's a dust.
My duds, I'm going DJ Chart, Casey Hayward. Enough said. That's enough right there. And I'm going Michelle against the Chiefs. I just don't like him at all this year. I mean, he has a couple good games, but I just don't think I just think with the injuries to the fullback, he's not a good. He hasn't shown that he can be able to run the ball by himself, like as a lone back. So I like James White. I think James White takes over the backfield. So I just think I got him as a dud. So
Yeah, Michelle is too touchdown dependent for fantasy purposes.
definitely.
All right, so we on to the lineups of the week. Again, this is a main slate only, so no Seattle and Rams, no Giants Philly, and yeah, let's get right into the lineup. So for my QB, I got Jimmy Garoppolo. I feel like if the San Fran wants to win this game, they do have to pass the ball, unless like I said before, unless Kyle Shanahan like make something up crazy for the running game. I like Jimmy Garoppolo a lot. I got Dalvin Cook. Like I said, I really feel like Dalvin Cook is going to be the focal point of this offense this week, and I feel like he's going to be able to get it done against Minnesota, who can't do anything against running backs. And then my other running back, I have Devontae Freeman, just because I feel like they need to run the ball if they want to win this game. I like the matchup a lot. This is a cash game lineup, so I want the safe play at $5,400 coming off of injury. I really can't pass Freeman up. And then to pair with Jimmy Garoppolo, I do got Sanders. I went Sanders this week. More than likely going to be on Marshawn Lattimore, but Sanders is one of those players who can break defenders and get those big plays. And I feel like Sanders gets it done this week. If you don't want Sanders, Debo Samuel's about the same price. And then Marvin Jones for the Lions, he had 4 touchdowns the last time he played this team. Honestly, I just want one, and then I'll be happy with Marvin Jones at $5,400. And then I was talking about before. I really like him this week. I like Robbie Anderson. He's cheaper than Jamison Crowder. He's only $5,100. He's been getting more and more targets each week. And I feel like if they want to beat this Miami team, they have to take risks. They have to make plays, especially after the embarrassing performance against the Bengals last week. And then tight end, we going back to my boy Jack Doyle, man. Tampa Bay cannot guard tight ends. Jack Doyle is pretty much one of the only targets there besides the returning Paris Campbell. So I literally had to go him. And then flex position, Kev was talking about earlier. I got James White. I had to throw James White into my flex position. He's going to be too involved in our passing game for me not to put him there. And then my defense, Jacksonville Jaguars. They're like I said, they can easily just get sacks, and Rivers is prone to turn the ball over at $3,100. Not even the most expensive defense. I couldn't pass the Jaguars up.
Hey, those are hey, that's a great lineup. I kind of have more trouble with mine this week. So we're going back to the we're going back to the college picks, right? So for the first 4 tiers will be first round picks. The next 2 will be second rounds. Tier 7 will be the third round, and then tier 8 will be the late round picks. Tier 1, I I thought of Evans, and we talked about how I was like, okay, well, I need Godwin, I need Evans, one of them to go off. With the people coming back for the Falcons was Hooper and Julio. It kind of scared me off of kind of really a little bit. So somebody, and D Hop is also in this tier, but it's kind of crazy for me to say this, but I would like to go Devontae Parker just because of the volume is going to be crazy, and I don't know if the Jets can stop it. You talking about a guy who got 40 targets in the last 4 weeks, but also you got D Hop who he can't be stopped because he's a superstar. So I may be wrong about this, but I think I'm gonna go Devontae Parker. I'm gonna trust for what I've seen the last few weeks. I'm gonna trust the volume because Kenny Stills, Will Fuller, they have been emerging. Deshaun Watson, MVP level, he can throw to anybody. For tier 2, it's kind of hard to go someone in this one as well. But we talked about how the Leonard Fournette has the volume. He's just like McCaffrey, except he hasn't scored touchdowns. Well, I'm going to double down on it. I think he will score touchdowns. I'm choosing him over Jacobs. I'm choosing him over Melvin Gordon and DJ Moore. Tier 3, this is the first round quarterbacks. Yes, you like Lamar Jackson because he hasn't been stopped all year. And it's probably most likely better to go that way. So Lamar Jackson is who I'm going to pick. If not, I would fade to Aaron Rodgers against the Redskins. Tier 4, yes, Mahomes may go crazy. Austin said he might throw 4 touchdown passes. I don't believe they can score 28 points. Maybe 17-20 is how they win the game. For that reason, I'm going to go Ryan Tannehill against Oakland. We talked about how that can be the fantasy game of the week. So I got to go somebody from that game. Here we go, tier 5 with the second round picks. And this tier is hard. I mean, Michael Thomas, Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams, Nick Chubb, Chark, and Bell. Like, this is crazy. I have Chark as a bust, as a dub this week. So he's out. I can't trust the Jets. So Bell's out. So who do I go? Mike Thomas in the matchup? Do I go to the name or do I go to the matchup? Take him out. And it really came down to Derrick Henry, Chubb, and Adams. And I was looking at it. I was like, man, what is my odds of Tannehill throwing a touchdown to Derrick Henry? Probably low, but I think that they both can be supported. But also, can a guy like Chubb steal Kareem, can have more success with Kareem Hunt there? I'm not sure. So for that, I'm going the top 5 MVP in my eyes, and that's Derrick Henry. Tier 6 also was a hard one, but not really. I kind of eliminated mostly everybody. Jane Washington, McDonald. Nobody cares about Pittsburgh Steelers. Nobody cares about Mixon. I know you like Geis. I like Peterson. So for that reason, I just can't go on. So I'm going Courtland Sutton against the Houston Texans. I just think that the volume is too there, and when you got somebody like Drew Lock, he's going to take the chances that I need for this to be successful. Tier 7, oh my gosh, Kamara, Galladay, Keenan Allen, Kelsey, Mark Andrews, Kareem Hunt, Emmanuel Sanders. My gosh, why would they do this to me? Now, if I'm going to match up Keenan Galladay or Keenan Allen is probably my choices. Because we know Bill Belichick is going to key in on Kelsey. 49ers has to key in on Kamara, and Kareem Hunt is splitting with Chubb. So for that reason, it's between Galladay and Keenan Allen. I'm probably going to do 2 different lineups with that choice split. But I think I want to go Allen. I don't know why. Because maybe I trust Rivers more than I trust Blount. I think Minnesota has to get this defense right at some point. This is Mike Zimmer for crying out loud. Tier 8, late round draft pick, Marvin Jones, Diggs, Kittle, Marlon Mack, James White, Freeman, Crowder, Benny Snell. Not worried about him. This is another tough one. I've been harping on James White the whole time. And also, we talked about the Freeman. You like the matchup. Can you trust the player? Can you trust the O-line? And when I do another split lineup, maybe this is the matchup. But I'm actually going to go Stephon Diggs because without Adam Thielen and how bad he played last game, I think that Diggs turned around. So Parker, Fournette, Jackson, Tannehill, Henry, Sutton, Keenan Allen, and Stephon Diggs. I mean, that was pretty hard.
Yeah. I was listening to you like bringing those players. I was like, these lineups, like those tiered lineups, they're actually hard to pick. I like the way they're doing them now because like before it was just like you could like pick and choose like certain players, like you knew you had to lock in there.
Right, yeah. And it's like this week they knew that. I think they go through scenarios and like, okay, this could be hard, so let's go the draft picks this week because this and this and this and this. So I went away from stars like Michael Thomas and Mike Evans and D-Hop. It's kind of crazy to do so, but at this point we got to realize we got to take names away. We got to look at what we've seen and what the production is. So
right, especially with the Saints not playing well. Like I said earlier, you really can't bench Michael Thomas.
But yeah, the matchup is so hard. But
if you're in one of those like 4-team leagues where your whole team is stacked, you could honestly consider it this week.
Right. Hey man, that was a good show right there. Week 14, playoff time, man. You already know.
Playoff time. Hopefully we win you some lineups. Me and Cat playing this week, so only one of us can win.
Yeah.
Win, but we'll definitely see. We'll definitely see.
Yeah.
Hopefully I win all the cash in that league.
All right, man. Up for the prize, week 14.
Out.